Want to see what's inside? There it is. I'm going to show you for real, but first we're going to rewind to the very beginning.
Okay, I want to start by looking at what UPS and Lytx have told us about this device and compare that to what I've learned looking at their patents and the actual hardware inside the device. The first thing I want to look at is the PCM with the subject Policy on Tampering with Lytx Devices, which contains a false dichotomy and a blatant lie. It appeared 2 years before contract negotiations began. It calls the outward-facing camera an outward-facing camera. It refers to the inward-facing camera as the inward driver-facing sensor. There is no such dichotomy in their patents. The original inventor, Gary Rayner, in his patent application, said that using a CMOS imaging sensor in this device makes it a camera, and referred to it as a camera throughout. In the patent assigned to Lytx, titled Managing the Camera Acquiring Interior Data, they refer to the sensor in question as the inward-facing video camera 25 times. In the patent assigned to Lytx titled Detecting Risky Driving with Machine Vision, they refer to the sensor in question as the interior camera 19 times. In the patent assigned to Lytx titled Dynamic Uploading Protocol, they refer to having both an external and an internal video camera. In the patent assigned to Lytx titled Direct Observation Event Triggering of Drowsiness, they refer to the sensor in question as the inward-facing camera 7 times and as the driver-facing camera 6 times. In the patent assigned to Lytx titled System for Capturing a Driver Image, they refer to the sensor in question as the inward-facing camera 10 times, as the rearward-facing camera 6 times, and once as the internal video camera. In the patent assigned to Lytx titled Classification Using Multi-Frame Analysis, they refer to the sensor in question as the internal video camera, and as the interior video camera 2 times. In the patent assigned to Lytx, titled Automated Training Data Quality Process, they refer to the sensor in question as the interior video camera 2 times, and as the interior still camera 2 times. In the patent assigned to Lytx, titled Adaptive Storage Reduction of Image and Sensor Data and Intelligent Video Stream Restoration, they say the sensor data set contains interior camera video data. Here's why they call it a driver-facing camera in their patents, because it's a camera. They used the original inventor's recommendation and utilized a CMOS sensor. If you are not familiar with CCD and CMOS imaging sensors, you probably have one in your pocket right now, if you have an iPhone or an Android phone. The cameras utilize CMOS imaging sensors. Your laptop, CMOS imaging sensors. Your car's backing camera, CMOS imaging sensors. Early versions of the Ring doorbell were Omnivision's OV9712 CMOS imaging sensor. If you've ever had a colonoscopy or a laparoscopic procedure, you've had a CMOS imaging sensor inside you. They are the primary sensors used in virtually every digital camera manufactured today. The package cars at UPS utilize CMOS imaging sensors in their Voyager backing camera system, so the drivers can look at their screen and see real-time video of what's behind them. The dolly pickers on the Yardbirds used at UPS have CCD imaging sensors, so the driver can use a video screen in the cab to line up the hook with the pintle. Security cameras in use at UPS facilities in Walton, Kentucky and Sharonville, Ohio, utilize CMOS and CCD imaging sensors. Note the signs that UPS puts up, calling them cameras, and advising that the area is under video surveillance. There only seems to be one place that they don't call them cameras, when they're in the cab pointed at a driver. I bought 13 of these Lytx cameras, and they include the SF300 series and the SF400. I've disassembled some of them and identified the hardware beneath the lenses. This is the road-facing camera at position U40 on the circuit board under the road-facing lens. This is the driver-facing camera at position U39 on the circuit board under the driver-facing lens. Now, if they look the same to you, it's because they are. On the SF300 series, both the road and driver-facing cameras use the Omnivision OV10635 imaging sensor. They are the same CMOS imaging sensor on the same circuit board, sharing the same processor. They are the same hardware with identical capabilities. But they told us that the in-cab sensor device does not have video or audio capability. Well, that's a lie. They're conflating capabilities with settings. On the SF400, they're using the OmniVision OV2778 for the driver-facing camera, built for cabin and occupant monitoring. OmniVision notes that it enables the smallest camera sizes possible for unobtrusive placement inside the vehicle. In a letter from Amanda Wayhunt at Lytx to Joanna Cornell at UPS, Ms. Wayhunt says that the devices used at UPS have been configured to not record audio and video, but notes in closing that these configurations are controlled by Lytx, as UPS personnel do not have the ability to directly alter these settings. Of course, UPS is the customer. The customer doesn't directly control the settings, but anytime they want to start recording the drivers, it would just be a matter of telling Lytx they want those settings changed. The device most certainly has both audio and video capability, despite what we were told. There are a couple of videos produced by Lytx and UPS, uploaded back in March of 2022. That's 14 months before contract negotiations began. One of them is now included as part of our annual training requirements, so every driver sees it. Listen to what they say about the driver-facing lens.
Though the driver-facing lens at UPS will not produce or record video footage, it is still important as an automated in-cab coach. It acts as a digital sensor, similar to a home motion security system, alerting you of potential driving hazards.
Guys, the lens never produces or records anything in any camera. The lens's only job is to focus light on the aperture or on the imaging sensor. That's it. So this first claim is meaningless. If we take it to mean the sensor beneath the lens, well, that's just factually inaccurate. The CMOS imaging sensor does, in fact, produce video. The patents we've looked at bear that out. The AI model is trained on images and has nothing to evaluate without images. You will get no alerts without the production of images, period. They say it acts as a digital sensor, similar to a home motion security system. They aren't telling drivers that it contains an imaging sensor which sends digital video of the interior of the cab to be continuously monitored by an AI model. Well, that's what they say elsewhere. They're using euphemisms and innuendo to avoid referring to the camera as a camera, instead talking ambiguously about an unnamed sensor or sensors which don't exist, acting as a digital sensor or similar to something that isn't a camera. Home security systems with motion detection use a variety of sensors: passive infrared sensors, microwave sensors, ultrasonic sensors, and dual technology sensors, none of which are mentioned in their patents on these devices. They only mention cameras in the patent, and we only find cameras under the lenses in these devices. Now let's look at the document titled Facts About the Lytx Driver Safety Program. Question 3 asks, does the inside sensor record video? It looks like a camera lens on the event recorder. Notice that the question asked is about recording video. But then a statement follows saying it looks like a camera lens. They respond no, the inside camera lens contains sensors, plural, which detect patterns of distracted or risky driving behaviors without capturing audio or video of the driver inside the vehicle. Now, how many sensors do you see on that circuit board where the lens sits? There's only one position marker on the circuit board under that driver-facing lens, position U39. The only thing that is at that position is the CMOS imaging sensor, the device they call a camera in their patent. Now, they love to tell you that it's machine vision and AI doing the work. Do you know what machine vision is? They seem to have some drivers convinced that it's something like the thermal vision from the Predator movie or the cartoonish animations on the Lytx website. So here are some quotes from notable experts in the field of machine vision. Buy and use a quality camera since it is truly a key component of vision systems. At the core of every machine vision system are industrial cameras, powerful imaging tools that drive applications in manufacturing, robotics, and inspection. Machine vision employs smart cameras to capture visual information from the surrounding environment under potentially challenging lighting conditions and provide high-resolution images with precise color accuracy and optimal resolution. That one is from What is Machine Vision Camera by Zebra Technologies. You guys are familiar with Zebra, right? Specifically in computer vision, a subfield of AI that focuses on enabling machines to analyze and understand images and video. One of the most critical factors is the input or data source, the camera. The quality and type of cameras used for a computer vision application directly affect the performance of AI models, and the absence of a camera would also eliminate the performance of AI models. Machine vision cameras play a critical role in diverse industries, enabling accurate quality control and these powerful tools help businesses improve efficiency, reduce defects, and maintain high production standards. The image sensor is the heart of any vision camera, transforming optical images into digital signals for subsequent processing. Modern machine vision cameras either use CCD or CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor sensors, each offering distinct advantages for certain inspection environments. Even though the main component of every machine vision system is a camera, no machine vision system is complete without the following components: lighting, lens, cabling, interface peripherals, computing platforms, and software. Cameras are the eyes of the machine vision system. They capture high-resolution images or videos of the objects or scenes being inspected. Depending on the application, these cameras can be monochrome or color and may feature various resolutions and frame rates to suit different inspection requirements. The image sensor is the main component of machine vision systems, turning light into electrical signals in an instant. Machine vision uses sensors, cameras, processing hardware and software algorithms to automate complex or mundane visual inspection tasks and precisely guide handling equipment during product assembly. The industrial camera can be said to be the eye of the machine vision system. It is responsible for capturing images and is the core device for image acquisition. It directly determines the resolution and image quality of the captured images. Machine vision is just a camera, feeding digital images to an AI model or an algorithm. That's it. The reason they don't call it a driver-facing camera, the reason they imply there are other sensors, plural, the reason they say it acts as a sensor or it's similar to a motion detector is because they agreed in Article 6 of our contract, any functionality included in driver-facing cameras, including their driver recording and monitoring functionality, will be disabled and rendered inoperable to prevent recording and monitoring of in-cab activities. Any functionality included in driver-facing cameras is an exhaustive set, meaning it covers all of the functionalities of a camera facing the driver, all of them, including, but not limited to, recording and monitoring functionality to prevent recording and monitoring of in-cab activity. Guys, the only thing that they have verified is disabled is the recording functionality. Or have they? In the patent titled Managing the Camera Acquiring Interior Data, the abstract on page 1 describes this procedure as a system for managing a camera comprises an input interface configured to detect a change in state, a processor configured to block transfer of data from an inward-facing video camera, and an output interface configured to indicate that transfer of data is blocked. Now, in this patent, the first reason they give for needing such a procedure for blocking data from the driver-facing camera is revealed in the last lines of page 8 and the first lines of page 9, which reads, "In some cases, a driver and/or organizations of drivers, for example, unions, may prefer not to be recorded by an inward-facing camera for privacy and/or other reasons." Unions were top of mind when they came up with this patented process. Keep that in mind. They get to the heart of the matter on page 11, about halfway down the right column, which reads, "In various embodiments, the blocking of the image from the inward-facing camera comprises one or more of the following: physically blocking the light from entering the camera, for example, using a shutter; electronically disabling the camera; not storing the image; not transferring the image; deleting a stored image permanently, identifying a face in an image and fuzzing, graying, or obscuring that portion of the image, blocking transfer to a third party but not to employer, blocking image transfer to coach but allow legal department access, for example, for collision legal handling, blocking human viewable images but allow algorithmic capture for images like machine vision data such as facial geometry, or any other appropriate image blocking technique. So they list 10 options for blocking the transfer of images from the inward-facing camera, but only require one to be applied to consider the image as blocked. Only one. So by this procedure, they could use the camera, store the image on the camera, transfer the image, store the image in their servers, show the image to some people but not others, such as the coach, and still declare the images from the driver-facing camera blocked. They patented a procedure, with unions in mind, to declare the images from the camera blocked while literally having done nothing but blocking you and your coach from viewing them. With that in mind, let's look at the document titled Facts About the Lytx Driver Safety Program again. On page 1, in answer to question 2, they say, the in-cab view has been disabled. So when the company that patented a procedure for saying they blocked images from the driver-facing camera while potentially doing nothing but blocking your view of the images, when that company tells you the in-cab view has been disabled, you really have to wonder what that actually means. Now, I'll acknowledge that it's a patent for a procedure. So just because they thought it up, wrote it down, spent tens of thousands of dollars to get it patented, that doesn't mean they are bound to use this and only this procedure. They aren't. But it does beg the question, why they bothered, right? It's a trust issue, right? But when has Lytx or UPS ever lied to you, right? One more thing to mention. Wayne M. Hewitt has been a senior advisor to Permira, a global private equity firm, since 2018. In January of 2020, Permira bought a majority position in Lytx. In September of 2020, Wayne Hewitt was elected to the board of directors of UPS. Then in January of 2022, he gains a seat on this board of Lytx. So it appears to me that Mr. Hewitt has served the interest of Permira, the private equity group that bought a majority position in Lytx, by coordinating a misinformation campaign at both Lytx and UPS. This misinformation began as soon as September of 2020. Which was the same month that Wayne Hewitt was elected to the UPS board of directors. Wayne Hewitt was in a position to get something that both UPS and Lytx wanted, to get driver-facing cameras past the Teamsters' objection. So they both played ball, allowing him to tell the union things about the driver-facing cameras that they knew to be false. They had a plan years before contract negotiations began to come to the table and agree to prohibit driver-facing cameras, while already having a plan in place to violate that agreement through deception and misinformation. They thought no one would know. The cameras are locked up like a safe with covers and security screws. The data on them is encrypted, and drivers were told they would be fired if they tampered with them. There was no publicly available information about what components were used in the Lytx cameras. So they just thought they could say anything they wanted about them, and drivers would never know the difference. And they did. They told half-truths. They implied things.
How would they know?
They broke the law by negotiating in bad faith. Surface bargaining, whatever you want to call it, it's a crime because it's a violation of the National Labor Relations Act. We can't let that go unaddressed. There's a link in the description where you can find the narrative for this grievance. We've been working its way through the system, along with links to all of the documents and evidence supporting these claims. You can help by sharing this video with other Teamsters, by writing or calling a representative on the Labor Committee in Congress, by writing your state's Attorney General and asking them to investigate, and by filing your own grievance. Now, I want to add, don't blame the Teamsters for any of this. They had no way years ago to know any different than what the company told them. Lytx and UPS weren't going to give them cameras to investigate. And buying from Lytx would mean signing a customer agreement, which would prevent finding and disclosing this information. However, now that we know what happened, we can and should hold the union accountable for what they do going forward.